Inside this box, we have the Lego Technic Ferrari Daytona SP3. That unboxing experience was actually like insane. Like it doesn't get any better than that. Wow. 3,778 pieces in this massive Lego Technic set. So let's get building. So with most of the Technic vehicles, you're going to start by creating the gearbox. And it's the same with the Ferrari Daytona SP3 here. Very advanced gearbox, incredible. Just make sure you pick all your pieces. That's generally what I do when working with Technic sets. I've learned my lesson because you don't want to have a gear left over at the end of any bag. After you're done building the gearbox, you build your rear suspension, and then you attach that to your gearbox, and then your 12-cylinder engine with the working pistons. Very cool. Then you're going to start creating the front of your vehicle. Now, this is when you're going to start working on the steering components, and of course everything having to do with connecting the shifter that is in the cockpit of this car to the gearbox as well. After box one, we've got some working steering, some nice suspension there, a working shifter, and the gearbox that sort of drives the back wheels, and also the engine pistons. And take a look at all of the working gears in this thing. It is crazy. Time for box number two. Box number two, we continue building the chassis of the vehicle and just adding more and more components. You know what? Technic builds are just crazy. I kept calling my wife over. I was like, Jose, come look at this. She wasn't nearly as impressed as I was, but these things are absolutely mind-boggling. The bags or stages were massive. Like there was only 7 bags total for this whole set, so they definitely take a lot longer to create. Also, I just find like building in Technic is so much more sophisticated, and you've got to like keep an eye on what you're doing and pay very close attention to detail. Otherwise you can make mistakes. So I find these builds go a lot slower than system builds, such as modular buildings and stuff like that. So now we're building the front of the vehicle, and there's actually a little bit of system in here. There's actually a little bit of plate work, which was sort of a relief at the time. And then once you get the front built, you attach it to your vehicle there as well. And add some fenders going over top of the front wheels. It's funny, I was building this car over the Formula One weekend. I actually built it in 2 days. I wish I had a little bit more time to build it. You know, building 3 or 4 stages worth of Technic in one sitting can get a little bit tiring. You can see we're working on the back engine covering now. So this is sort of like the back hood that will go over top of the engine. And there's actually some glass panels in there, which is pretty cool. So you can really start to see the back of the car sort of take shape now. So we built the front there. We added our flex tubing going around the cockpit for the windscreen, and also we've covered up the back with all of the different Technic panels. And you can see the hood will actually open up there to reveal the 12-cylinder engine within. So now that we're done box number 2, it's time to move on to box number 3, and look at this. We've got our rims, 4 of them. They're actually different from one another. That's why you'll see that the little cardboard pieces have number 1 and number 2 on them. Also, no stickers in this set. Look at this. We've got a printed specifications plaque. Huge. I love that. And also the large rubber tires for those rims as well. So obviously box number 3 is the final box, and this is when we're going to start finishing the vehicle. First thing we do is we cover up the hood there, and then we also build our seats. The seats are identical, so you can build them sort of assembly line style, but they're a tricky little build and a lot of fun as well. Then we build our doors. Once again, they're pretty much the same, just obviously a mirror of one another, so you can't build them in assembly line style like we did with the seats. And attaching the doors was a little bit tricky, but it was easier the second time. And then once you get the doors on, you'll see that they're nice scissor doors, which is cool. And you start working on some of the back end, because at this point you haven't really done anything with like the tail lights or the diffuser on the back end of the Ferrari. So that's what we start doing here with our final stages, or a final bag, which is bag 7 of the Ferrari. Building actually like a really cool rear end here that actually uses a lot of system, believe it or not, lots of curved tiles and plates. And then finally we're able to put the rims on this masterpiece of a Technic set. So here we go, the Lego Technic Ferrari Daytona SP3 with the specifications plaque, looking absolutely incredible. All print pieces. That is so desirable for me. Like, I just love that. Like, that's a huge upgrade. Some of the other ones, you know, they used a lot of stickers. Here you can see the rear end. You can see all the system that I was talking about. You can actually remove the roof to reveal the 2 seats within the cockpit there. And it also has a gear shifter and a steering wheel with a little Ferrari 1x1 circular tile print piece. The front will also open up, revealing a 1x3 print piece in there with your little serial number, which is definitely a nice touch. Then you're moving around to the back here, where we can see the hood will pop open there, the back covering, revealing your large 12-cylinder engine with the working pistons. We'll see those working in one moment here. A lot of fun building that, very similar to most of the other Lego Technic cars. We got working steering, so the steering is connected to the steering wheel, and you can see some of the gears moving in the front there. And then there is a shifter knob, so when it's in the forward position, you can actually see the axle leading to the engine there, and the pistons will move quite quickly. Then when it's in neutral, or the central position, there's no movement, and then when it's in the rear position, the cylinders will move a little bit slower. The craziest function of this build is the functioning 8-speed sequential gearbox with paddle shifters. It's actually changing something in the engine. What that is, I'm not exactly too sure, but I believe it's increasing the resistance on the engine as you shift using those paddle shifters. And then we got the nice wheels and the scissor doors that will open up just like that to reveal your cockpit. And a nice print piece there on the back, and also the covering. And then here's the back. Look at all of the plate work and tile work that went in to create that unique shape of the SP3. So yeah, that's it. That's the Lego Ferrari Daytona SP3. Look at the thick instruction manuals. Wow. Printed pieces galore. That's amazing. And what an amazing experience I had with this Lego Technic set.